888-866-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Behind the camera, at the news desk, on the sideline, coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Off the Field with 1011 sports reporter Kendall Lanier on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Off the Field. I'm Kendall Lanier. You can use 402-464-5685 for the Starter Heyman text line. And to put a face to the voice, you can watch on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Allo Cable Channel 961. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm joined by a special guest, DP. You guys all know him, but I'm so excited to have you on. I feel like it's been a long time coming.
Thank you for asking, first of all.
Of course.
I'm a big fan, and it's really cool to watch the progression through this thing, right? I remember the very first conversation about
I know, right?
Here's some possibilities, and here's what I see in it. Yeah, and then you were willing to accept the baton and move it forward. So I'm grateful for you doing that.
Yeah, well, it's been great so far. I've had the best time. And, off the field, we talked to everybody about their journey to their sport. And I know you've done a lot of different things. You talked about your journey, but really wanted to have you on to talk about how you got to this side of the sports world, because there's so many different angles, different things people can do after they play, if they don't want to play anymore, and just being in this communications landscape and being able to still be around so many athletes every day. Why was this an important part of your life that you wanted to kind of embark on?
There's so many parts to it, but I was the kid who Sunday mornings in Virginia, whoever the Redskins were playing that day, I would play the game in front of my house, and I would do the play-by-play, and I would play the game myself. So I played every position, and I'd call the game. So,
yeah.
It was like, oh, yeah, the weird Pearson kid's out there playing football by himself again. But And then when I got to high school, I had an injury in football, and it made me miss basketball season. And the guy who did the public announcements for the high school, he said, well, no point in you sitting around, why don't you put those pipes to use and come call. So I began with like freshman and JV basketball, wrestling, anything that was there. And then when I got to college, I ended up hurting my shoulder playing baseball. And they said, instead of sitting on the bench, come on up here and tell us what's going on. Tell us what's going on. So always the story. I was always fascinated by the story, getting into coaching and then getting into the broadcast side. Quite often, actually, it's in my nightclub days. I had athletes in DC who would come into my bar. It was a sports bar. They come into my bar. We talk sports, and they were like, well, why aren't you on air? And finally, as the story goes, my very first time on air in DC, I was hosting a show, and the guest was Bill Walton. The legendary Bill Walton. And it was my job to kind of cater and make sure they were okay. And so we sat in a booth and chopped it up. And they called him and said, Mr. Walton, we're ready for you. And he goes, let's go. And I go, no, I don't do that. Like, I don't do that. He goes, no. He goes, you know this better than they do. So you need to come on up here. And they put me on air. And he said, the very first, he said, Derek, are you ready? And I was like, yes, sir. And he goes, pipes. Oh, he has pipes. And he goes, I think we can do this. So the universe has always put me in places where the stories behind the game, the stuff off the field, was way more intriguing to me than the final score.
I love that. And we've always had our DC connection. I went to Howard. I mean,
Buffalo Soldiers,
yes. How did you, being in DC, how did that kind of shape you to who you are, and how do you kind of carry that part of you, even being in the Midwest now?
It's interesting. I try to explain it to people that DC's diversity. It's a very transient town. Very few people are actually born there. But it brings the entire world. You've got Embassy Row, you've got Chinatown, you've got all anything authentic from another place internationally ends up in Washington, D.C. So you culturally are invited into all of these different places and people, and then you learn, there's a bridge that you can meet everybody on if you're willing to do that. And so you learn. And then in the sports bar business in D.C., yes, Redskins, Wizards, Caps were the thing, but on Capitol Hill, everybody's from somewhere else. And there are these big, huge alumni groups who would get together to watch Nebraska, Texas A&M, and they needed a place. Well, I was the best at putting ball games up and hosting groups. So I had to learn other colleges. I had to learn everybody, because somebody came in, hey, what time's Nebraska playing today? Do you have room for it? And you'd have to tell people, okay, your game ranks today or it doesn't. So I have always had to learn other markets, other people's cultures, to find out what people liked. Understanding Pittsburgh fans have a certain personality. Texas A&M fans, they have their yells and cheers, and you better know them. And then realizing that A&M fans were also Cowboy fans. Penn State fans were also Steeler fans. And then you had to work accordingly. So I always had to learn. I had to know whatever Kendall and Harrison came in the bar to see that day. I had to know your team as well as you did.
Interesting. Wow. And it's funny you mentioned the Wizards. I just watched Shooting Guards on Netflix. Have you seen it yet?
Good.
So good. I was just like, wow, like I wish I was there when the Wizards were good. Like I can't imagine what it would feel like.
So I went through the 70s Bullets. So I actually got to see that world championship, and that was themed The Fat Lady Sings. And it was always, it's not over till the Fat Lady Sings. And several of my heroes were on that Bullets team. Wes Unseld was a mentor to me. And so You got that. I actually worked for Kevin Greavy, who was the starting shooting guard on that team.
Mhm.
I worked with Phil Chenier and traveled with him. As a matter of fact, we would go to Iceland every year
Wow.
on retreat. And so you learn that. And then I was also around for the Chris Webber, Juwan Howard era,
Mm.
which was very interesting, more so off the floor than on.
Yeah.
But I had seats behind the opposing team's bench.
Yeah.
And I learned more about basketball listening to some of the great coaches who ever did it, watching them maneuver in huddles and in games. It was informative. Like that's how you learned it.
Right.
Was being around people who were smarter than you were.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Commanders takes for this season. Do you think they're going all the way, or they still need another year or two?
I think we think about it this way. For them to be in the NFC Championship and that they played the Eagles tougher than anybody the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They got a win against them, and then they almost beat them, and they were ahead at some point in the championship game, but the Eagles were phenomenal.
Yeah.
But you did this with a very young and new organization.
Mm-hmm.
They put some pieces together, and the way that they're working, all of the energy is positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
I had a brief Commanders fan in the transfer portal era.
Okay.
Where the business that was being done didn't fit my soul. And I kept saying, okay, I cannot be emotionally invested in nonsense.
Yeah.
So I just said, and I took some heat for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're a fan, you're a fan forever.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm a grown up. If
Exactly.
I see some nonsense, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect them to be one of the top 4 teams in the NFL again. Health pieces staying together. But I'm excited to root for them.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I like that take. Okay. So now getting to Lincoln, you made it to Lincoln. Talk about the growth. I mean, I feel like my generation especially wants things to just happen overnight and everything's so like quick success these days, especially with social media. But being able to build something from the ground up and build it into what it is today, how much patience, I guess, did it take to really see it come into fruition?
Oh, yeah. there are okay, so the coach in me understands to trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
The athlete in me knows that you have to put in work for things to happen. But I was speaking to a group at the Lincoln Country Club last week, and it came to my head that you cannot grow what you don't plant.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be purposeful. It means from the root up, the right seeding, the right time of year, the right nutrition in the ground, right? Will it get fed, sun, all those things, right?
Yeah.
That you can't grow a good thing without putting good things into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time for anything good to grow. And so that patience is mandatory.
Yeah.
Success requires patience. You cannot move immediately and without long vision.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison and I talk a lot about GPS.
Okay.
That I can know where I am and I can know where I want to go, but a GPS is required to tell you whether you're on time and on purpose, right? And and if you have long vision, okay, this is where I am. Here's what I want this station to be. How do we get there? And how do we get there is super important.
Yeah.
And you have to have the right pieces in the right direction and the right information,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I can say, I want to get from here to there in a year.
Right. Yeah.
Your GPS would go, are you sure?
Yeah.
So GPS is important, understanding location, time, and then what you're trying to end up doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. Well, we'll send it to break. We'll be right back.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Allo, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at allofiber.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Back to Off the Field on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Kendall Lanier.
Well, before we went to break, you were talking about how you can't have success without patience. And going a little bit back to that, I'm sure the journey had to change some, and you had to be adaptable to new things that came about when you got here. And how did you kind of be adaptable but never lose sight of the vision and what you wanted to bring to Lincoln?
Be you.
Mm-hmm.
Be you. Like I was going to retire. Like that was the plan. I was not going to do radio.
Yeah.
And some folks found out I was coming. Conversations happened. Some offers were made. 23rd hour deal goes left. And people said, we're going in a different direction. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I literally turned the corner down in Haymarket, and I saw this radio station remote going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that wasn't one of the ones we were talking about. So I'm like, oh, let me look this up. I pulled it up on the website, and they're on the front page looking for a radio host, sports host.
Mm.
So I send my stuff. The story is that the then general manager, station manager, and the owner, I had to interview 7 times.
Oh, wow.
To get the lowest paying minimum wage job.
Yeah.
For 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week, minimum wage.
Yeah.
I could have given up if it wasn't what I wanted to do, but it was what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Took the job, got to work, and started to build some momentum. COVID hits.
Yes.
And it was a difficult time because you didn't have
Right.
no local stories. But I fell back on a career of having relationships with sports people all over the country. So I just brought them into the fold, and it gave me people to talk to each day.
Yeah.
COVID ends. Most radio stations were struggling. We weren't. We were growing.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner said, well, I think I'm at the point where I want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to turn it into a country music station. No, Lincoln didn't need another country music station. That was not the move.
Mm-hmm.
We talked, made plans. Becky and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. She was just incredible in collecting resources to figure out information on whether we should do it or not. We were down on 48th in the old station, but I saw a vision of what I thought Lincoln and Nebraska deserved. What Husker fans deserved. And it's kind of you could probably relate to this, that sometimes you see the story before you tell it.
Yeah.
Right? You see a person and you went, okay, everybody needs to know about this person. There were just a bunch of people that I thought Lincoln deserved to know. And I made, the first person was Jay Foreman because he's a DC kid, right? That connection. Eric Strickland was working in Orlando. What's it take to get you back? Rashawn Jackson and that thing. Then characters in Colorado. I met just on the internet. I met AD and Raph.
Wow.
Brought them in.
Brought DeMornay in as well.
DeMornay, the DC connection. Again, a kid who gave me gray hair as a coach. Gave me nightmares. But I was such a fan of the way of the human that he was, and that the athlete made it pretty simple. So you just have to care.
Yeah.
Like it has to matter.
Yeah.
Like the idea of doing a thing for money or doing it for ego, that's not what you want to do. So I just saw a bigger city version of sports radio for Lincoln, Nebraska. And that's what we work for.
Wow. I love it. I mean, to see where it is now, you have such a great perspective. You have so many different athletes come through here every day. When you sit back and kind of see, how do you think your perspective of sports has changed with having a radio show and being able to talk to them each and every day and kind of tell their stories? Do you think it's changed from when you first were coaching in that side of the career?
Well, it's changed in two different pockets. So today's athlete being heard because of social media, it's important for you to have your voice.
Yeah.
Before, coaches often didn't really want players talking.
Right.
You didn't want that engagement. The conversations are also different because we have so much more data now than when I first started doing radio 30 years ago.
Mhm.
Like there's no internet, there's no cell
Yeah.
phones. Like, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
Right? So, or there were cell phones, but we weren't engaging the way
Yes.
we are now.
Yeah.
And so it's changed and evolved. The ability to stream and show, to be able to stream and see the people talking
Mhm.
changes the game. A 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah.
You have to evolve.
Mhm.
So the game has changed in that here recently, NIL and transfer portal have certainly given us more conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Good and bad,
Mhm.
right? And everybody has a voice, whether they deserve it or not. So we focus on telling stories, speaking from our truths, talking about what we know rather than what we think we know.
Yeah.
And that's what sports radio is currently.
Mhm. Definitely. And I feel like the media landscape is always changing. I feel like, 5 years ago, they said radio isn't going to be big. Now they're saying, local news isn't big. It's newspaper, whatever. So how do you kind of adjust to that, the talk about around media and continue to push on despite what could be out there?
Well, ESPN said Lincoln was a dead sports town. I'm always fascinated when it's the thing, right? They said, well, they say that radio is dead, print media is dead, but we're journalists. We're naturally curious.
Yeah.
Who is they? Right? Because far too often the people who are speaking are regurgitating something somebody told them.
That's true.
How many people are actually walking the streets of Lincoln, Nebraska can say whether Husker fans want to talk sports or not? I was told Husker fans aren't going to talk. They're not going to listen to sports on weekends. Well, yes, they are.
Yeah, like of course.
Yeah, they're not going to listen at night.
Yeah.
Of course they are. They're not going to listen to women. Of course they are.
Right.
You have to. I understand that people like the lowest common denominator and low hanging fruit, but I've never really worked that way. So, I don't pay much attention to what the air quote experts say.
Right.
90,000 people got together to watch women's volleyball, who watch football every Saturday, available Saturday, since 1961.
Yeah.
That data is factual.
Right. Yeah.
Opinion, I'm not playing with. I'm going to cater to those 90,000.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because there's so many podcasts nowadays and stuff like that. And I think like if you're good, like people are going to listen, like it's never, I think someone was telling me this, like it's not oversaturated if you have something different to bring to the table. You know what I mean? Like there is a space for everyone if you have unique content.
Well, here's my thing. It's just like everything else in life, that the weeding process is legitimate, and that I'm not telling people not to do their podcasts.
Right.
I love the idea of being boundaried by the FCC, having that credibility, and the ability to do business that way. I like the tracking. I like the fact that what we say is shared and seen, and it's forever.
Yeah.
Being held accountable, I'm cool with that when it comes to, especially when it comes to sports, to be able to have these conversations. There are a lot of podcasts that I can't listen to.
Yeah.
I chose people on air who were people who I thought, one, had integrity, heart, and they love what they do. And then they had something really good to say. I was given this blessing years ago when I was working for the Carolina Panthers, and I got on a plane, and I happened to be sitting next to Marv Albert.
Okay.
And we were I was still wet behind the ear, brand new. But I told him what I wanted, and he said, I'm going to give you some gospel here. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Be yourself. And talk about what you know. And if you can do those three things and then be interesting.
Yeah.
This is what you should be doing. Done. That's a great standard. That's the GPS you're working.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to know what you think about, take culture, just in terms of, like, let's say First Take, for example. So many different takes out there, and on one hand, I think it's great, opinions, it kind of gets the world talking, but do you think that kind of takes away from the game and just what's actually happening, and people just get so into their opinions that they lose sight of the trueness of the sport?
Popcorn.
Mhm.
Take podcasts and take radio and television. Popcorn.
Yeah.
I understand it. Tastes good. Easy to digest. Has zero nutritional value. It has.
I like that.
It has zero. There's a place for it.
Mhm.
It's just not what we want to do. We do. I love conversations.
Yeah.
I love when people put down perspectives and nonsense, right? The want to be heard.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a conversation. You're going to be heard.
Yeah.
Now have a real conversation. And I say this all the time. It's not my job to know the answer to everything. It's our job to get to the right question.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't have to know everything about everything, but I should be curious about the things I don't know.
Right.
And that's the kind of radio that has legs and keeps moving forward. Take radio will come and go.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful for people who want that sort of entertainment.
Mhm.
I'm not mad at people who watch pro wrestling in full. It's not the same as UFC.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
both, there's space for both. I'm just simply choosing to be in the here's what I know
Mhm.
and here's what I'm curious about type of radio.
Yeah, definitely. And we were just talking about how, it's very rare for so many athletes to have their own show and be able to tell their story from their point of view. How important do you think that is in media, in the sports world, where so many people want to tell their stories for them, but for the athlete to be able to be here and share it on their own? Why was that kind of important for you?
Truth. I'm an old man. Like the idea that I could tell a college student's story
Mhm.
in absolution doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Even
Right.
as somebody who's coached several generations of high school athletes and been around several generations of college athletes, I can't possibly tell you what the study program is, what the majors are, what the time management, what do you do with your 168?
Yeah.
What's your focus? What's your biggest friction? Right. And here's the thing. Most Husker fans are finding out more about their Huskers now than they ever have before.
Mhm.
And it's, wait a minute. This is humanizing sports is one of the great responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like to never put the game ahead of the person.
Mhm.
It's more important for me to know who that player is because then their actions matter more.
Right.
Oh, I know how difficult this is to meet Sam Hoiberg when he's the last player on the bench to when he becomes a captain. Well, if that story's in the dark, my goodness, we've missed so much good.
Yeah.
Right? But to be taken along in that journey and to watch him grow and to watch him evolve and then to watch him become a leader and then watching Jeffrey Grace, who accepts that very same role, the same responsibilities and to grow in it and to have them come in and explain, you know what, this was way tougher than I thought. Or here's the real fun part. And if you, as a fan, again, social media allows people to be heard and bots take over and all the venom that happens on social media, right? All the venomous stuff. But it's hard to be cruel to people we know. And that's the part that we shoot for, is make them human and make you be human or humane to them. Yeah.
I love that. Yes. Well, we'll be right back.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Allo, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at allofiber.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Back to Off the Field on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Kendall Lanier.
Welcome back. You have been dropping gems all hour, and we are so appreciative, and we have time for some more. So I always talk to people about their legacy, how much they think about it, and you looking back in your career before you started the station and everything, did you often think about how you wanted to be remembered and what legacy you wanted to leave, or did you just do the work?
You do the work. You do the work. I didn't think about legacy that way. I didn't think about my legacy. I thought about my mom's legacy. I thought about my grandmom's legacy. I thought about my coaches. Like, was I honoring them? Were they looking down and smiling? Were they sitting on my shoulder applauding?
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of regrets. Most of those is that I love people and they didn't know it. But I wish that my mother could see this version of her son.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, I wish my grandmother could see this version. And it gives me great hope that she can. Right? That, you know, she's going, oh, look at my baby boy.
Yeah.
So legacy for me is just honoring the people who love me. Like, we're just the accumulation of a bunch of people who loved on us. And to honor them, I speak their name proudly, loudly, with love attached to it.
Yeah.
And that was why I literally the books, writing books and doing this sort of stuff, that's what it's for.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it's for.
That's amazing. And want to talk a little bit about the changes you have seen, being able to work with so many different athletes, particularly with NIL and just how that has changed college football, college sports in general. What's your kind of take on that?
Long overdue. And it has to become the wild, wild west to get even to where it should be.
Yeah.
The other extreme was so low and so poorly executed that you had to just let everybody run free for a bit. And I think that needed to happen. And whatever athletes can get it, because the adults are getting it.
Yeah.
The adults in charge have had decades of just putting money in pocket. And so we can't say that now for the student athletes, oh, no, you really shouldn't be money first.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be money first. Well, no, it was built. What's the old, there's an old adage to say that if the system needs fixing, it doesn't. That's how the system was built. And that's what this system was. So now you have to put a new system in play. For us, I had to work around it because they said you can't have coaches, you can't have athletes on the radio. And I went, every market I've ever been in, that's who has shows. That's who should be talking. So I figured out the rules in which to find out the things that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
And then I maneuvered around that and found the people that I could talk to. And those are the people we used as pioneers. And those are some epic, Brant Banks, Nori was epic with Sunday Morning Pancakes. Nickel and Hames, Kenzie Knuckles, exceptional. Reagan Hinsey, Michaela Curtis from gymnastics, her and Kenzie Roby,
Megan
Kenzie
Whitaker,
Days,
Lindsay Teeley,
Megan Windsor, yeah,
golfers.
Yep, the golfers were exceptional in the space.
Mhm.
Audrey Caffey from the swim team.
And we got Emma Spence still right now. going for us.
Right. To watch, to give you a chance
Right.
to come and do this thing because you're building legacy. Because think about it. You've kept the door open. You opened the door and kept planted seeds and kept the door open for the next you.
That's true.
Who wants to come in. And if you if you mess it up, it could have ended the whole thing.
For sure.
But no, you set a table, you set a standard, you've worked the standard, and bravo for it, because good people doing good things tend to keep us moving. That's what NIL has allowed us to do. And I look forward to the next iteration of NIL and radio and
Right. Like what's next?
yeah, what's next is big.
It's coming.
What's next is big, and
Yeah.
I'm excited, and more opportunity. More good people in Lincoln. We'll do more with nonprofits as well. But the student athletes, the coaches, the assistant coaches who need this platform to build their next job,
Yeah.
right? To get them interview ready and get them used to
Right.
being able to tell these stories, to give the sponsors and the boosters and community folks who support these sports and these athletes and this town something for their donation, something
Yeah.
for their money,
Mhm.
and the relationships that happen when you do that.
Right.
So that's what that's what it's done for us.
Yeah. And I think it's so great that, it's not just football, basketball, everyone has a seat at the table, and how much pride you have in all sports get to show up for themselves and kind of get that same recognition and attention.
Well, we had to learn. Harrison and I have done a really good job of being open to learning sports that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Learning pockets of the country, because not everybody's from Nebraska,
Mhm.
right? Learning bowling. To hear the swimmers talk about these insane workouts that they have to go through. The bowlers and all the wear and tear.
Right.
The divers and the friction that they face in not having a home pool to compete in. Track athletes who didn't have a place. Again, as powerful as this program is,
Yeah.
local folks don't get to see them. You get to see the indoor version, but you
Right.
don't get to sit outside and watch it. And then finding out from women's tennis and men's tennis how
Mhm.
exceptional it is.
Yeah.
And then wrestling, which again has just been spectacular in giving us access, allowing us to go on the journey from being a top 10 team in the country, top 5 in the Big Ten,
Yeah.
to being runners up at both, and 2 national champions and a third runner up.
That's crazy.
And if they hadn't given us access, I can tell you there would have been nobody at those tournaments telling those stories.
Yeah.
But they invited us, so we went.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Okay. So now want to talk about, you have been able to witness so many great things in sports. What has been one of your favorite Nebraska sports moments, and why?
Oh man. Without question, back-to-back national champions. Like to be, again, access in sports, access in news, access in storytelling is at the top of the pyramid. And when people give you access to the rawness of, hey, we're not sure how this is going to end either.
Right.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
if we decide in September that we're going to cover wrestling, the recent history would have been, my goodness, this thing is going to end poorly.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't end well for Nebraska at Big Ten. It doesn't end well for them at nationals. They hadn't had a national champion since 2011 or something. So you go, okay, I'm going to go along the ride. And then you start seeing, oh, there's a sign.
Right.
Oh, they're doing this right. Okay, they're doing this right. Oh, they're doing,
Yeah.
And then you hold your breath,
Mhm.
you cross your fingers, and you watch 4 Huskers end up in the top 4,
Yeah.
3 in the finals. Brock was sick. Brock Hardy was sick the morning of his championship. Otherwise, it'd be 3-dash.
Yeah.
Sick to the point where we probably shouldn't have competed, but he did it anyway.
Right.
Runner up, not a bad year. Here comes Ridge Lovett.
Mm-hmm.
And Ridge have been talking that talk from day one. DP, ride with me, bro. This is, and I heard you. I've seen this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're Rocky. I get it, right? I don't know if it's Rocky 1 or Rocky 2, but I'm gonna ride with you, bro. I'm gonna ride with you. And they captured, and thank goodness for the folks who were there covering, but they captured a moment where Ridge is walking around the corridor after he's won the title, and he's just screaming. He's just screaming, and he's talking that talk. And we see each other from 50 feet, and he screams my name, and I'm just as stunned as anybody there.
Yeah.
And we had a moment that was captured, and that moment would have been perfect unto itself. But the fact that we had taken all these steps along the way, and then here comes Antrell Taylor. Well, the night before, Antrell, who was not seated in the top 5.
Yeah.
Antrell knocks off the dude. He knocks off the dude, and he comes off the mat, and I'm standing there. And I just wanted to tell him, you're a bad man. You're a bad man.
Yeah.
They captured it, right?
Right.
And then the next night, he watches Ridge win the title. Now the ceiling's gone. The glass ceiling's gone. Antrell goes and wins the title. And he walks up, he sees me, and I had to tell him, you're not just a bad man, you're the man.
Yeah, I remember that video.
You're the baddest dude in the country. And those are that's a Nebraska kid.
Yeah.
So to me, that's why we cover sports. That's why in a whole career, 40 plus years of doing this, if I stop doing it, that moment never happens.
Yeah.
And that's why we do this.
Right.
That's why. And here's another moment. To meet your grandfather's granddaughter is another moment. Because that, I've told you this privately, I'll say it publicly. That dude was a hero of mine.
Yeah.
In Virginia, they're legends.
Yeah.
That dude is a legend. Legend.
Yeah.
Him and all the pads. Look, man, I get goosebumps talking about your grandfather.
Oh, I love that.
Love it.
Well, I just want to take some time. I only have a few minutes left just to thank you, for not only coming on the show, but just being able to create a space that just feels so welcoming for so many different people, not being an athlete, but being someone who wants to share athlete stories. And, it's just so great to see what you've built, and to have been a part of it for, a short period of time is just inspiring. And definitely had to give you your flowers for everything you do for me, for all the other athletes. So we are so grateful, and just want to make sure you knew that. So.
Thank you for trusting me with your talent, your name. And we are going to watch you forever. And we're going to be proud of you every step of the way.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a good night.